Hello, my name is Volen. I've been using the Zeez for the last several months. I really could have used it for the last several years. I'm 32 right now, and I've been having sleep problems on and off since I was about 16, but really became continuous in the last 3 years or so. Insomnia can be quite different for different people and can be caused by many different things, so I'll tell you a little bit about my particular problem and how the Zeez has been a very helpful tool. My insomnia tends to be caused by stress, and it really doesn't matter if it's physical stress or psychological stress, though physical stress tends to be a lot shorter term. So for instance, if I haven't trained in a while, and then if I go to the gym and I do a bit more, well, a lot more than I should be doing, then I may not really sleep very well for just the next several nights or maybe up to a week, 2 weeks, but it'll take me some time to adapt. But after that, I'll be fine. So physiological stress tends to be a lot shorter term. Psychological stress, on the other hand, as we all know, unfortunately, is a lot more disruptive. And this is when I would get my periods of up to 6 months of no sleep, starting as early as 16. That was a pretty surprising thing to happen. I had no idea what caused it at the time. And I also didn't know how to get any better. So for 6 months, I just walked around like a zombie and did whatever I could, anything to try and make it better. Nothing really ended up making it any better. It just took its time, and it took 6 months to get better. Then I had another roughly 6 month long period, almost 4 years ago now, and it just did not go away after the 6 months. It just stayed. So this was another psychological stressor at the time. It was more intense than the things that I had before. I had more things that I was doing. I was trying to study, self-educate, and start a business and work and finance and moving countries and all kinds of different things. The 6 month period began. I couldn't really do much, same as all the times before. And then the 6 month mark hit, and then it was another month and another month and then some more. And I was just thinking, okay, you're breaking the deal here. This is supposed to go away now. And I started really trying to think long term of what it is that I'm going to do if this is what the new normal is for me right now. So the recovery for that had to be that I really drastically had to reduce my stress, both again, psychological, physiological, any type of, and I call it stress, but really it became just excitement. If something was good, but it was just too exciting, it was too stimulating, that also caused me to not sleep. And I think basically I'm at the tail end of the 3 years now, so just the amount of stress that I had, it had just built up. So whatever the issue was with cortisol, adrenaline, etc., I just had to make sure that I just keep things just even center. Just don't get too excited, don't get too stressed out, don't do too much physically. I had to stop training. I had to really think about the projects that I'm taking on and the things that I'm doing, and to really just deload, step back, think through everything that I'm doing, prioritize things, think about why I'm doing stuff, examine all the different stressors, examine the underlying continuous stressors and think about those, try and reframe them, try and find a different purpose to them, a different application, and just not see them as stressors anymore. So a lot of the work that had to be done was around disease. It wasn't just purely using it and it's a miracle cure. It doesn't really work like that in my experience. And I know from speaking with Anna, who called me as soon as I found disease, as soon as I bought it. She gave me a call and we talked about things. And really what we talked about primarily is nutrition, stress management, things like that. All the things that come around the device, not just, hey, buy this, it's going to make you better. It was, hey, you know what, you can buy this and it will help you. It's helped many people. This should help you. But you also need to be doing all these other things. So it really wasn't that I got disease and everything was better. I had to do all the other work around it. I had to address the major issues that are happening. I already had good sleep hygiene because I've been doing that for a while, but orange glasses, going to bed at the same time, waking up at about the same time, keeping things consistent, getting sunlight, blue light in the morning, etc. All of these things that we should be doing, they have to be done before you also get an extra helper. I found disease while doing some desperate Google searching at probably 2 or 3 in the morning one day. And when I found it, I just immediately looked if I could order it right away. It didn't really matter how much it costs because even though finance has been a massive stressor for many years while I've been doing all the other things that I'm doing, whatever amount it costs versus the long-term cost of not sleeping, the opportunity cost of that, the diminished performance, the health issues that happen that I don't really necessarily even want to think about. Long-term, these things are completely offset by whatever the price is. At that stage, I would have paid anything pretty much to get better. So as soon as I found it, I got it, spoke with Anna, we decided on a plan, and I have to say that things got a little bit worse before they got better. I would highly recommend that you follow the guidelines for how to use the Zeez. Having electrical devices and things like that in the same room definitely do change the way that it works. And if you do need to have an electrical device with you in the room, just make sure, if you can, to put it as far away from you as you can. Or if you're finding that your sleep is disturbed and you need to have that device around you, then just be aware that the Zeez will probably do its job properly if that device isn't around you. So even though I was doing all these different things to improve my sleep, I still was finding it difficult to maintain a night of sleep. I would normally wake up around 3 a.m. and a lot of times that would just be the end of sleeping for that day. So it wouldn't matter how early I would try to get to bed, I would just wake up earlier. And basically when I got the Zeez, I was at a point where my sleep was sort of stable, but it wasn't really great. And I was looking for something that could finally just equalize the whole thing and just smooth it out a little bit more. And the Zeez did exactly that. It took a while to get it right, but after that, it really helps me fall asleep. So I can just turn it on within 10 minutes. I'm hopefully knocked out. And then if I do wake up at around 3, and if I don't manage to fall asleep, then if I just restart it and do the 10-minute program again, it really helps to get me to sleep and stay asleep after that. And the longer that I've been using it, the better and faster that it's becoming. Hopefully it just keeps doing that. I don't know how much of that is possible, but hey, I'm open to it. It's really helped stabilize my sleep. It's also great to know that there's something that you can rely on. If things aren't going well, hey, you know, I have this thing, and is a great thing to have. So I know that there's something that I can fall back on if there is an issue. I still do have trouble with cortisol and adrenaline. If I have actually been able to start working out a little bit in the last month or so I can start doing something. It's important that I still keep it low. Otherwise, there will be a problem, and I will know about it soon if I've done just ever so slightly too much. So the Zeez can't really help with the cortisol or the adrenaline, but the very act of sleeping obviously helps massively restore the balance of those hormones. And another bonus from it is that dreams, for me, are a lot more vivid. So now that I can sleep, I'm actually looking forward to going to bed, which was something that, I mean, you couldn't pay me to go to bed. It's really helped actually make sleep fun. Dreams are almost like movies right now. I'd like to say a massive thank you to Anna and Steve and the rest of the Zeez team. I think it's really incredible that you've managed to come up with this device, that you've had the idea, the creativity to make something like this. And Steve's story is amazing. Thank you very much for making this, for making it available for other people. And like I said before, for me, it wasn't a miracle cure, but I'm absolutely grateful for any incremental improvement I can get. And this absolutely helps me. It helps me fall asleep. It helps me stay asleep. It helps me know that I have something to rely on that can stabilize things for me. And if I'm not stupid, if I don't do stupid things that I know I shouldn't be doing, and I'm working out those parameters, I know that I'll be able to sleep. And if I can sleep, I know I can pretty much do anything, or at least that's how it feels after a good night's sleep. Because when you're not sleeping, at least for me, I'm a different person. I can do barely anything, and even then I do it poorly, and I'm grouchy. And that's not me. I'm none of those things. But anyway, thank you so much for making this possible. Thank you also for your incredibly personal service. As soon as I bought it, I was in contact with Anna, and she was trying to help me with my sleep problem. She wasn't trying to tell me oh, this is how you need to use the device, or this is what it's going to do for you. It was none of that. It was just, hey, this device is a helper, but these are some things that you will also have to do. And I'm absolutely in agreement. So give it some time. It took me a while before things started getting better. So follow the instructions on how to use it. Do your best to improve sleep hygiene and reduce stress, etc., whatever your major concern might be. And definitely the Zeez is a massive helper. I would recommend this to anyone. Even if your sleep is good, if it can be better, why not go for it? Because if you can sleep, if you can recover, then you can learn, then you can improve, then you can get stronger, you can do anything. Thanks very much for your time. Thank you to the Zeez team as well. And I hope you're getting some good sleep. Thank you again.